안녕하세요, 터미입니다. Let's have fun learning Korean today. Today we are going to learn 3 grammatical expressions. First, other, even if, other, regardless of. Second, 곤 하다, do often, used to. And third, 은이은, 는데도 불구하고. Although, despite that. Once you learn today's grammar, you will be able to accurately communicate like even though A, you do B, such as 바쁘신데도 불구하고 항상 제 영상을 시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. Thank you for always watching my videos despite your busy schedule. Wow! Now you can say a wider range of expressions. By learning expressions that are unique to native speakers, I'm sure you can pass topic and become a super master of Korean. Let's get through it! 그럼 시작할게요! The first grammar, other means even if, other regardless of. It means that the preceding event A does not affect the following event B. You often use this in a phrase like 아무리, other, no matter how you do. To apply this grammar, first, you need to consider the yo form of verbs and adjectives. Next, you omit yo from it, goodbye, and add do instead. For example, yo form of 가다, to go, is 가요, right? You remove yo from it, goodbye, and add do instead to make 가도, even if I go. Your form of 먹다, to eat, is 먹어요, right? You remove yo from it, goodbye, and add do instead to make 먹어도, even if I eat. For nouns, it will become 이라도. If a noun does not have a final consonant, you add 라도. For example, 교사, a teacher, does not have a final consonant. So you add 라도 to make 교사라도, even if I am a teacher. If a noun has a final consonant, you add 이라도. For example, 학생, a student, has a final consonant. So you add 이라도 to make 학생이라도, even if I am a student. So now let's read a sample sentence. 요새 저는 아무리 먹어도 배가 고파요. Recently, even if I eat a lot, I am still hungry. That happens, right? Food brings a lot of joy, isn't it? As I told you before, the yo form of 먹다, to eat, is 먹어요. Therefore, you omit yo, goodbye, and add 도 instead to make 먹어도, even if I eat. Let's read the next sample sentence. 아무리 머리가 좋아도 노력하지 않으면 성공할 수 없는 법이다. No matter how smart you are, you can't be successful if you don't work hard. This is so true, right? It uses 아무리, no matter, at the beginning of the sentence. When you add 아무리 like this, you can emphasize the preceding sentence. When you make 머리가 좋다, to be smart, to your form, it will be 머리가 좋아요. Right! Then you remove your from it, goodbye, and add 도 instead to make 머리가 좋아도. No matter how smart you are. Then let's read the next sample sentence. 요즘 몸이 안 좋은데 병원에 가도 낫지 않네요. Recently, I have not been feeling well, but even if I go to the hospital, it does not get better. Here, the yo form of 가다, to go, is 가요. You remove yo from it, goodbye, and add 도 to make 가도, even if I go. Okay, let's see the next sentence. 아무리 국제연합이라도 개입할 명분이 없었다. Even the United Nations had no justification to intervene. Wow, this sounds like a sentence in a news script, right? Here, Since the noun 국제연합, the United Nations, has a final consonant, you add 이라도 to make 국제연합이라도, even the United Nations. Quiz! Then let's deepen our understanding with some quizzes. Which one is the correct answer? 저는 아무리 시간이 밤에 꼭 한국 드라마를 보고 잡니다. Even if I don't have time, I watch Korean dramas in the evening before going to bed. Number 1, 없어도. Number 2, 없거나. The correct answer is number 1. 시간이 없다 means I don't have time. The yo form of 없다 is 없어요. You change yo into 도 to make 없어도. And this becomes 시간이 없어도, even if I don't have time. Number 2 is wrong. Because 시간이 없거나 means or I don't have time. Now let's read as if you are obsessed with Korean dramas. 저는 아무리 시간이 없어도 밤에 꼭 한국 드라마를 보고 잡니다. Please practice this sentence until you can say it fluently. Now let's try the next quiz. 영화가 시작할 때까지 시간이 좀 있네요. There is still some time until the movie begins. 근처 카페에서 같이 마실까요? Shall we have some coffee together at a nearby cafe in this area? Number 1, 커피도. Number 2, 커피라도. The correct answer is number 2. The noun coffee does not have a final consonant. Therefore, you add 라도 to make 커피라도, coffee at least. Coffee at least sounds a little bit strange in English. So I changed it to some coffee. Okay? Number 1 is wrong because 커피도 means coffee too. Now, let's read this sentence with the feeling to take a break. 근처에 카페에서 같이 커피라도 마실까요? Please practice this sentence until you can say it to your friend. The second grammar, 곤하다, has 2 meanings. First, you can describe your habit in the present, such as do often. Second, you can express your habit in the past, such as used to. Through this grammar, you can describe an action that you repeat regularly. Since you describe your regular action, you apply this grammar to verbs. The usage of 곤하다 is simple. You add 곤하다 to a verb stem regardless of a final consonant. Simple is the best, right? So 가다, to go, will be 가곤 하다. I often go. 먹다, to eat, will be 먹곤 하다. I often eat. Now, let's read the sample sentence to see what kind of habits there are. 주말에는 친구를 만나러 밖에 나가곤 해요. On weekends, I often go out to see my friends. When you see your friends, you can receive good energy, right? Here, 나가다, to go, is a verb. And you add 곤 하다 to make 나가곤 하다. I often go out. You can see this person is habitually going out to see his friends on weekends. Crystal clear? The next sample sentence is about stress relief. 우울할 때는 신나는 노래를 듣곤 해요. When I feel down, I often listen to positive songs. When you feel down, it's best to listen to bright songs, right? Here, 듣다, to listen, is a verb. Therefore, you add 곤 하다 to make 듣곤 하다, I often listen to. The next sample sentence talks about a habit in the past. 20대 때는 짧은 치마를 자주 입곤 했어요. In my 20s, I often used to wear clothes like short skirts. Here, 입다, to wear, is a verb. And you attach 곤 하다 to make 입곤 하다, I often wear. When you make this to past tense, as 입곤 했어요. It means I used to wear. Okay? Quiz! Then let's deepen our understanding with some quizzes. Which one is the correct answer? 예전에는 매년 새해 목표를 In the past, I used to set a goal for the new year every year. Number 1, 세우고 했어요. Number 2, 세우곤 했어요. The correct answer is number 2. 목표를 세우다 means to set a goal. You add 곤 했어요 to the stem to make 세우곤 했어요. I used to set a goal. Then let's read the sample sentence together. 예전에는 매년 새해 목표를 세우곤 했어요. Please practice this sentence until you can say it fluently. Then let's try the next quiz. 모를 때는 이것저것. When I don't understand, I often ask this and that. Number 1, 듣곤 해요. Number 2, 물어보곤 해요. The correct answer is number 2. 물어보다 means to ask. Then you add 곤 해요 to the stem to make 물어보곤 해요. I often ask. You can see if he does not understand something, he habitually asks people and tries to get the answer. Number 1 is wrong because 듣다 means to listen. Okay? Now let's read the sentence. 모를 때는 이것저것 물어보곤 해요. Please practice it until you can say it like a native speaker. The last but not least, we are going to learn 은이은 는데도 불구하고 although despite that. You use this phrase to explain that the following situation B happens regardless of the preceding situation A. Through this grammar, you can contrast the main event and the background circumstance. Let's learn the usage in cases of verbs, adjectives, and nouns. First, in the case of verbs, you add 는데도 불구하고 regardless of a final consonant. Ooh, that's easy breezy. Ooh. And please pay attention. You add 는데도 불구하고 to adjectives that end with 있다 없다 too. For example, 맛있다 to be delicious, 맛없다 to taste bad, 재미있다 to be fun, and 재미없다 to be not interesting. Next, let's learn the rule of adjectives. For adjectives, you use 은이은데도 불구하고. If an adjective does not have a final consonant, you add 니은데도 불구하고. For example, 기쁘다 to be joyful does not have a final consonant. So you add 니은데도 불구하고 to the stem to make 기쁜데도 불구하고. Although I am happy. If an adjective has a final consonant, you add 은데도 불구하고. For example, 좋다 to be good has a final consonant. So you add 좋은데도 불구하고. Although I am good. Next, for nouns, you add 인데도 불구하고, regardless of a final consonant. In addition, Korean people often use 그럼에도 불구하고, nonetheless, as a conjunction. 매일 운동하는데도 불구하고 살이 안 빠져요. Despite my daily exercise, I don't lose weight. Here, 운동하다 to exercise is a verb. And you add 는데도 불구하고 to make 운동하는데도 불구하고 despite my exercise. You can also pay attention to this expression. 살이 안 빠지다. I don't lose weight. 살 means body fat. Since 빠지다 means to lose, this phrase literally means I don't lose body fat. Therefore, it means I don't lose weight. Now, let's read the next sample sentence. 그 아역은 어린데도 불구하고 아주 의젓해요. The child actor is very decent despite his young age. Yes! When you watch Korean drama, there is a boy who is very mature, right? Here, 어리다, to be young, is an adjective that does not have a final consonant. So you add 니은데도 불구하고 to make 어린데도 불구하고, despite his young age. 의젓하다, to be decent, is an intermediate level vocabulary. It means to be decent, to be dignified, to be prudent. Please memorize this word. Then let's read the next sample sentence. 저는 가수인데도 불구하고 고음이 잘 안 나와요. Even though I'm a singer, I cannot hit the high notes well. Here, since 가수, a singer, is a noun, you add 인데도 불구하고 to make 가수인데도 불구하고, despite being a singer. Quiz! Then let's deepen our understanding with some quizzes. Which one is the correct answer? 불구하고 양이 많아서 다 못 먹었어요. Despite its good taste, there was so much food that I could not finish eating. Number 1, 맛있는데도. Number 2, 맛있은데도. The correct answer is number 1. 맛있다, to be delicious, is an adjective. However, it has ita inside, right? Therefore, you add 는데도 불구하고, like a verb, to make 맛있는데도 불구하고, despite its good taste. Did you get it right? I hope you did. Number 2 is grammatically wrong, so please be careful. Now, let's read this sentence with the feeling that you wanted to eat it all. 맛있는데도 불구하고 양이 많아서 다 못 먹었어요. Please memorize this sentence so you can say it to your friends. Now, let's see the next quiz. 불구하고 가게는 사람들로 북적였다. Despite being a weekday, the store was full of people. Number 1, 주말인데도. Number 2, 평일인데도. The correct answer is number 2. Since 평일, a weekday, is a noun, you add 인데도 불구하고 to make 평일인데도 불구하고, despite being a weekday. And this word, 북적이다, means to be full, is an intermediate level of vocabulary. Please memorize this word as well. Number 1 is wrong because 주말인데도 means despite being a weekend. Now, let's read this sentence. 평일인데도 불구하고 가게는 사람들로 북적였다. Please practice this sentence so you can naturally write it in your diary. Now, I'll announce the homework for today. But before the homework, I will read a short poem which has today's grammar. 사랑은 그렇기 때문에가 아니라 그럼에도 불구하고 입니다. Love is not because. It is nevertheless. Ooh, that touches my heart. Did you find today's grammar? 그럼에도 불구하고. Nevertheless is a useful phrase. You can memorize it as it is. Now, come on, homework. There are 2 parts to this homework. First, please make 3 sentences using the grammar you learned today. For the first sentence, please use although, even though. For example, 일본에 살고 있어도 항상 한국 뉴스를 보고 있어요. Even though I live in Japan, I always watch Korean news programs. Since I teach Korean, I keep a habit of watching Korean news programs. For the second sentence, please use 곤하다, do often, to tell your regular habit. For example, 잠이 안 올 때는 요가를 하곤 해요. When I cannot sleep, I often practice yoga. For the third sentence, please use 은이은 는데도 불구하고 although, despite that. For example, 그 영화는 재미있는데도 불구하고 인기가 없어요. That movie, despite being interesting, is not popular. Sometimes there are movies like that, right? After writing 3 sentences, you can submit your homework in the comment section. The second homework is to memorize new words. Please memorize the 40 words from number 1001 to number 1040 on page 13 in the intermediate vocabulary list. There is a vocabulary quiz of 40 words on my website, so just feel free to try it. The link is in the description box. And you have memorized more than 1,000 words so far. Wow, wonderful! I hope you memorize all the words till the end. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching today. High five! Yay! I want to do my best to teach you Korean. Besides, you guys are all wonderfully excellent students. Please be confident and enjoy learning Korean. 그럼 오늘도 행복 가득, 웃음 가득한 하루 되세요.